Well, welcome, and I'm sure you've already guessed that we are in a marina. This is Marina Lanzarote in Arrecife, and the aim today is to show it off to you, really, show you what's here, where you park, where you can go from here, and why it's a place worth visiting on the island. So I'm going to start first of all by showing you the two car parks that are here. Now, this one is the first of them, so if you take the first left when you see cars parked, you'll come into this car park. But at peak times, it's not particularly busy at the moment, but at peak times this one always gets packed very, very quickly. And people end up driving round and round trying to find a space. But as you'll see in a moment, there is another whole car park if you just go beyond the turning into this one. Now, this is only 100 metres or so down, but this is the turning into the second car park, and as you can see, it's pretty much empty. So well worth going for this one rather than struggling to squeeze into a space in the first car park. And people park here not just for the marina, but they also go along to Charco San Ginés, and I'll show you where you can walk to that, and it's quite a pleasant walk to do. Just worth picking up here that the extension to the harbour wall is underway at the moment, and you normally get a great view of any cruise ships that are in. There are none today. There's some kind of super yacht or something over there, but when there are cruise ships in, you get a great view through this see-through fencing section that's been put up. As I'm walking through here, I just thought I'd pick this up because this is the Seacar car rental office, which I think must be one of the coolest car rental offices on the island. It's got beautiful furniture in it, and it's all glass, and the cars are all parked just here in the car park. That does general business, but the bulk of its business is for cruise ship passengers who want to hire a car and go and explore the island when they arrive on the day. So we're going to start at the far end, which is effectively the Costa To end, and I'm going to show you what's here. As you can see, the sign on the ground there says City Centre. On the left in this section there's a big sports shop that does triathlon bikes, gym equipment, sports clothing, pretty much anything you can think of related to sports. Some interesting looking bikes there. Those are e-bikes. And next door to them is the boat shop, as I call it, the big boat shop, which sells some really nice looking ribs. 6-metre rib there. Massive engine on the back of that boat in there. So Marina Lanzarote, it's one of 3 marinas on the island. The first that was built was Puerto Calero, which was the dream of Pepe Calero. That was built in 1986. The second one was Marina Rubicon in Playa Blanca. That was built in 2003. And this one, Marina Lanzarote, was built by the same company, by Calero Marinas, who built the original Puerto Calero Marina. This opened in 2014. A Springfield shop here. We had a bit of a laugh in the office before I left, because Julie and we came to the inauguration of this place and we were trying to remember when it was, and we sort of guessed 6 years ago, and in fact, as I said just now, 2014, so this was opened in 2011. It has berthing for 350 vessels, from 4 metres up to 60 metres in length. So they get some pretty big sailing ships and motor yachts in here. Very quiet here today, partly I guess because there are no cruise ships in, and also because it is currently siesta time. It's Wednesday afternoon. And quite a lot of businesses in Arrecife still respect the siesta, so they close in the afternoons and then reopen late afternoon, early evening. Holiday company TUI have their offices here, so if you book a holiday with TUI, the Management on the ground here comes from this office, and at the airport as well. There's a small Hipadino Express supermarket, and then a really fabulous little bakery, a French style bakery there. They do brilliant croissants. Across the way there is the fishing school, where fishermen go to college to get their tickets to go fishing or captain fishing vessels. We get to a section now where there are a number of restaurants. There's Il Nonno, the grandfather, trattoria here. Another fitness place. And a cafe there. There's also a very nice gym in this section with a rooftop swimming pool. There is a Lilium, a very, very well-known restaurant on the island. Fine dining. One of those beachy shops, La Playa. Cocktail bar called Jolly Roger. And Carbon, which is owned by Luis Leon and specialises in char-grilled steaks, and my goodness, that smells amazing. And no, the smell isn't coming from Burger King, which is next door. There's a radio station based here called Marina Lanzarote, or maybe it used to be based here. No, it is still based here. They have a music station on 88.1 and a talk station on 97.4. Quite a nice little bar there called Intrigo. And the inevitable Asian restaurant. Asiatico Marina. This is a very popular late night place called Karma, and this is open at weekends until the early hours of the morning, and all the cool people of Lanzarote come to this section on weekend nights to enjoy a few drinks in these bars, followed by the nightclub and some dancing at Karma. They have DJs, occasional live bands on. A very popular place. There's always people messing around with their boats here, doing repairs and just enjoying being on them. Now there is a tourist information office here. I have always assumed it was put here for cruise ship visitors, but obviously anyone can call in. And some fascinating artwork at the end of the marina. Now, I said at the top I'd tell you that if you park in the marina, you can walk into town relatively easy, and all you need to do is to head for this bridge, which takes you across the water, hang a right, and once you get to where the cars are on that roundabout ahead, you're pretty much on top of Chaco San Ginés, so you're right in the city centre of Arrecife. Dead ahead is one of the old sardine factories, which is currently there are discussions going on about restoring that or doing something with the land that it sits on. Arrecife, of course, was one of the premier sardine ports of Europe in the 1970s, and this whole area was crisscrossed with conveyor belts that would carry the fish to the canning factories. And when this first opened, the upstairs here was designed as a food market, and it was one of those places where you had lots of food stalls and drink stalls all the way around it, and you'd go and buy what you wanted to eat and drink and take it into tables in the centre and just sit down in a communal area and eat your food and drink your drinks. But it never really took off. It failed dismally, and it was relatively quickly closed down. And I don't think there's anything there at the moment, but I'm just going to have a nosy and see if I can find out if there is something up there, because it's a massive space, and it's tragic if it's still open, it's still closed. I've come upstairs, and you actually get a cracking view across the city from here and of the mountains behind Arrecife. And this is the kind of upstairs dance floor part of the nightclub. And then in the first part of what was the food market, there is somewhere called Marina Innovación Hub. Apologies for my reflection in the glass there. Marina Innova Hub, and I'm guessing it's some kind of co-working space. Looks very cool. So what about the marina then? Well, it, as you can see, is desperately quiet, but it actually works very well as a marina and is a very successful and reasonably profitable marina in terms of the boats, because it's a brilliant position. Being further north on the island, it gives you access to La Graciosa in a day, and but you can also go south to Puerto del Carmen. So as a marina it works. As a retail space, it's always really struggled, and I think it's partly because it's out on a limb, secondly because there just isn't enough interesting stuff here to draw local people. But it's a good place to come and visit. You'll get a terrific croissant here, you'll get a good meal here for sure, and it's good access to Arrecife, and a place you can park if you're going into Arrecife, as I said before. One of the other issues it does have, and it's not a particularly windy day today, but for some reason the wind always howls down here. You can probably hear it on the mic, and even on a not particularly windy day, I'm just going to turn my head out of it, you have that wind blowing down. It doesn't make it that comfortable to sit in unless it's a particularly hot day. So there you go, hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for watching. That's Marina Lanzarote and Arrecife. Bye for now, everyone.